Good morning. Welcome to Yoga with Lauren this morning. Let's see here. Today we will do a few poses on the floor, and then we'll stand up and do some standing poses. So there is one pose that's a bit of a balance pose. So if you have a challenge with balance, you might want to have a chair handy in front of you, or you could step to a table or a wall. And otherwise, you don't need anything special. Just get yourselves comfortable. I'm gonna take a drink of tea before we get going, and then we'll do our seated centering and our energy medicine yoga wake up, and then we'll dive into our movement practice. Glad you're here whenever you're able to do this. All right, find a comfortable seat, either in a chair or on the floor. If you're in a chair, take both feet to the ground and really think about rooting your sit bones into your chair or the floor. And then from that rootedness in your sit bones, lengthening up through your spine, get a little more length here, broadness through your collarbones, and softening your outer body. If it's comfortable, you can close your eyes or keep your eyes open. Begin to find your breath. Finding a deep inhale and a full exhale. And then just continue to breathe in a way that feels serving for you. Still thinking about rooting your sit bones, maybe your feet, if you're seated in a chair, into the floor. Lengthening through your spine, through the crown of your head. Bringing your attention inward. Focusing on your breath. Softening your outer body, softening any areas of tension you notice. If you have a really tense area, you can think about breathing space into that area. Think about softening and breathing space into your body, maybe into your mind. You can slowly begin to open your eyes as you're ready. Place your palms to face up in your lap. And on your next inhale, sweep your arms up, reach up. Palms come together overhead. Exhale your hands down to your heart. Say a thank you to yourself for showing up. And if there's someone or something in your life you want to extend some love and light to, you can think of that person, persons, or situation now. All right, you may release your hands. Next up is the energy medicine wake up. So if you're able to stand, go ahead and stand up. If you'd rather be in a chair for some reason, you could stay in a chair, just so you know. And during the energy medicine wake up, we're gonna inhale through our nose, exhale through our mouth the whole time. So I'm gonna change my camera here up a little bit more. So continue with that breath, and then find your collarbones, drop right down below your collarbones, start thumping there. You could rub, it could be more deep pressure, whatever feels good for you. Tune into that as far as the amount of pressure and what type of touch you want to do. So here we're hitting the end point of your kidney meridian that's right below the end of your collarbones. Helps to wake up your whole energetic body. Gets the yawns out if it's the morning, like it is for me. Okay, center your chest over your sternum, one or two hands, thump there. Getting over your thymus gland here, so this helps with your immune system. Remember to inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth at a pace that's comfortable for you. And we're breathing that way to help release stuck energy and get in touch with the central and governing meridians of our body. Third thump, side seams of your breast or pectoral muscles. I like to rub here rather than thump, so your choice, thump, rub. If this hurts your shoulders, you could cross your arms and tap those spots. Sometimes for me, this gets a little bit of shoulder neck tension, so actually I'm gonna do that way today. Use that in through the nose, out through the nose breath. And then shake your hands off. You're gonna come right under your eyes, bony cheekbone area. If you have glasses, you might need to lift them up on your head. And this thumb helps to ground your energy. If you like, you could picture your energy coming right down from this spot, down your body, down your legs into the floor, grounding you into the floor, grounding you into Mother Earth. Just like gravity grounds us and keeps us centered on the earth. Okay, shake your hands off. Take a moment to pause, find stillness, silence. You could close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. And just tune into your energetic body for a few breaths. Then as you're ready, you can open your eyes if they're closed. We'll move into the cross crawl, same arm to same knee, opposite same arm to same knee. You don't have to lift your leg. Do that a few more times as you inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, and then stop that, shake your hands off, opposite arm to opposite knee, and continue. It's kind of marching in place. Remember, you don't have to lift your knee high. It could look more like this, but maybe you want to be a little faster, so you tune in. I like to move slower. You see what feels good for you. This helps your energy move in a crosswise pattern. We want our energy to move in a crosswise pattern. A few more rounds of breath. Or if you feel like you're ready to stop, you can stop whenever you want, honestly. You really need to tune into your body when you do this routine, what feels good. Shake your hands off. Moving into the zip up next, which helps our energy move upward, helps protect us from absorbing other people's energy. So take your hands in front of your low body. On your next inhale, sweep your hands right up the center line. You could tap your chin if you like. Exhale, hands come down around you. 2 more times. Inhale, pull energy up at your own pace. Exhale, send it down around you. Till you've done 3. And after you've completed 3, just keep your hands lowered. And we'll do the hookup, last move of the wake up. So 3rd finger goes to your belly button. Other 3rd finger between your eyebrows. Doesn't matter which hand. If you don't like touching your belly button or pressing in on your body, you could just hover your fingers in space. And otherwise, you're going to gently inhale as you press in and pull up. And then exhale through your mouth. And then do that 2 more times at your own pace. After you've completed 3, you can release your hands. Good job on the wake up. Do it every day. Do it more than once a day. I do it every day. It's really a wonderful way to help your energy move in a healthy pattern and set a nice tone for your day. All right, come on down to the floor. We'll start our movement practice. We'll be on the floor for a little bit and then we'll stand up. So get yourself comfortable on your back. Extend your legs long. Good. Take your hands to your belly and just find a few deep breaths here on your back. Really feeling your belly move as you breathe. Maybe feeling a little bit of movement into the ribs. And now you can breathe however is comfortable for you. So that might be in through the nose, out through the nose. That's a nice way to breathe. But if you're perhaps like me, I really like some mouth exhales. I tend to have a little bit of stuck energy, nervous anxiety energy. So the mouth exhales feel good for me, but see what feels true for you. Just find some deep breaths. And then as you're ready, arms come overhead. Good, let your shoulders come down your back. Let your low back soften to the floor. And breathe with your arms overhead. You can think about really stretching from your toes to your fingers, getting more length in your spine. Okay, now take your feet, walk them over to the right. Heel, you can't quite see my feet, but you're gonna walk them over to the right. And then you're gonna walk your hands and your shoulders a little bit over to the right, so you're in a C curve. You typically would feel a pretty nice stretching sensation, perhaps around your left hip, maybe more a little bit in your armpit, and then reach. If you want more sensation, reach out through your fingertips here. If this doesn't give you much sensation, you can cross your left foot over your right. That would probably bring it a lot more into your hip, and that is too much for me this morning, so I'm gonna stay right where I'm at. And then breathe. You can always walk your hands and feet a little more into a curve if you need a little stronger sensation. Or like I said, you could try crossing your left foot over your right, see if that feels good for you, if that sensation feels good and serving, or if it doesn't, you don't need to cross your legs. So when I did it, I was like, ooh yeah, that's way too much sensation. You're the judge of that. You're in charge of how much sensation your body's ready for in this moment while you're doing yoga. Okay, walk hands and feet back so you're in a nice straight line. And take a moment just to breathe there. Shoulders coming down your back. Softening your face, your jaw, perhaps softening your low back more towards the floor. And then as you're ready, walk your feet over to the left. And then hands over to the left so you're in this nice C-curve shape. If you like, you could cross right foot over the left. Now on this side, I feel like I can do that and that feels okay. It doesn't feel too strong. So typically sensations kind of in this hip, rib cage, armpit area. For me, it's mostly in my hip. Breathe. Deep inhale, full exhale. If your legs are crossed, slowly uncross them. Walk your hands and feet back so you're in a straight line. You can release your hands to your side. Why don't you go ahead and take your knees up, feet to the floor, and just do some quick windshield wipers to neutralize out of that C-curve stretch. Finding your breath. And as you're ready, you can make your way up to standing. So maybe you want to roll over to one side and use the floor to help push you up first to a seat, and then we'll come to standing. All right, so finding mountain pose, feet are hip width pointed straight ahead. I'm gonna turn to the side, aligning your hips over your ankles, shoulders too, and then rooting down through the mound of your big toe, inside of your heel, mound of your pinky toe, outside of your heel. Find that nice, solid, firm base in your feet, and find your breath. And think about hugging skin to muscle, muscle to bone in your legs, isometrically drawing your legs together and energetically from your feet pulling up into your hips. From your hips, the core of your pelvis, you're gonna press down the bones of your legs into your feet. From your hips, you're gonna lengthen through your spine, getting taller. Nice and broad through your collarbones. Perhaps you need to tuck your tailbone a little bit towards your heels if you're like me and your pelvis tends to tilt forward. Breathe. As you're ready, inhale, reach up. Fingertips come together. Good. Hands down to your heart. Release your hands. Stay nice and aligned in this mountain pose. As you're ready, inhale, reach up again. Stretch, reach up. I like to look up. You don't have to. Maybe you feel better with your gaze forward. Palms come together. Exhale into a downhill ski or a chair pose. I did forget to mention that if you have need a little help with balance, have something in front of you, a chair, a wall. So if you need to walk to a countertop, good. Just so you can reach out if you need. And then again, let's root down to the four corners of your feet. Mound your big toe, inside of your heel. Mound your pinky toe, outside of your heel. Hug skin to muscle, muscle to bone in those legs. Isometrically draw your legs together. Energetically pull up into your hips. From the mounds of your big toe, press into the mat. Draw back to your inner heel, up your inner thighs as to broaden your pelvis behind you. From your back waistline, tuck your tailbone towards your heels, create a little length. From your hips, press down the bones of your legs to your feet. From your hips, get taller through your spine. You can reach out to something for balance or stay here. You're in chair pose. Breathe. If you want to challenge yourself, sit deeper. If you're already in strong sensation, just breathe. Hands to your hips, forward fold with your spine, hinging from your hips. Releasing your spine, releasing your head towards your knees. Hands come down your legs, either to touch the floor or keep your hands on your legs if you don't reach the floor, or maybe you have yoga blocks at home. Release that spine, let your head release, don't hold your head up. If you're in strong sensation, you can stay here. If you want to straighten your legs to come deeper into your forward fold, depending what time of day you're doing this, typically in the morning,
It's harder for me to get real deep into a forward fold, so sometimes I keep my knees bent slightly. So see what feels serving for you. Honor that. Release your spine and breathe. You could gently see about shaking your head. No. And yes, if that helps to release your neck. If that doesn't feel good, don't do it. Find your breath. With your hands on the floor or your legs, on your next inhale, think about lengthening your spine, but you're lengthening from your hips. You're extending out from your hips. You're not lifting up in your posture like so. You're lengthening more forward through your hips. And then you're going to exhale and fold. And then do that 2 more times your own pace. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Hands come to your hips to support your pelvis. Inhale, stand up, reach up, fingertips to the ceiling. Palms come together. Exhale your hands to your heart. My feet got a little tingly in that pose, so I'm just going to shake them out. Shake out your hands and legs if you want. That feels good for you. And then find mountain pose again, top of your mat. Next one is a balance challenge for sure. We're going to work on lifting a heel and maybe a whole foot. So if you need a chair or a wall or a counter to stand to, please do so. In fact, I'm going to put a chair out there. They're nice to have. It's nice to have a chair just in case you need that help for balance. So I'm going to have a chair in front of me. And then stand in mountain pose. Feet are hip width, pointed straight ahead. Grounded through your feet, tall through your spine, hips over your ankles, shoulders too. Find your breath and breathe. As you're ready, on your next inhale, reach up. Exhale into chair pose, just like we did, okay? Good. Strong legs, drawing those legs together from your feet, pulling up into your hips. From your hips, pushing down the bones of your legs and your feet. From your hips, getting taller through your spine. Good. Press your palms together, stare at something in front of you. Lift your right heel, so you're on your right tiptoes. If you'd like, try lifting your whole foot without leaning over to the right as best you can. Maybe you want to use that chair to stabilize you. And breathe. One-legged chair. Lower your foot back down. Slide that chair forward and come into, you could either do, if you have a chair, an L pose type stretch, or hands to your hips, forward fold. Which one sounds better to you? Or if you just want to stand in mountain, if you're with a person that you don't like forward folds, you don't like an L pose, you can stand in mountain. Just find a neutralizing pose that serves you. Either an L pose with the chair, forward fold, or standing straight upright in mountain pose. And find your breath. And then bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Fingertips to the ceiling. Palms come together. Exhale your hands down to your heart. Good. Again, have that chair or something for balance if you like. And find mountain pose. Rooted through your feet, lengthening through your spine. Finding stability in your feet first and finding your breath. As you're ready, inhale, reach up. Exhale into chair pose. Good. Breathe here. Feel strong, feel steady. Pull energy in from the core of your pelvis. Extend down the bones of your legs and up through your spine. As you're ready, lift your left heel. Perhaps lift your whole left foot. Try not to lean over. Breathe. You want to challenge yourself, sit deeper. You can always touch your toes down and do this, okay? Maybe you got an ankle injury on one side, so take care of yourself. And then lower your foot, forward fold or L pose, or you could just do a mountain pose and breathe. So neutralize however feels good for you. And find your breath. Maybe you want to slightly bend one leg and then the other in your forward fold or your L pose. Do anything that serves you and your body here for a few rounds of breath. And if you're in a forward fold or L pose, bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Palms come together. Exhale your hands down to your heart. Good. Take a moment. You could shake out your arms and legs. I'm going to grab a little drink of water here. And then go ahead and step wide on your yoga mat. So what I want for a wide stance is that if you lift your arms up, your ankles are about under your wrist creases. So some people typically aren't very wide. You need to get a little bit wider. Ankles about under wrist creases. And then make sure your feet
are pointed straight ahead. So the outside line of my feet is parallel with that short edge of my yoga mat. And then just take a minute to settle into this wide leg stance, to root down through the mound of your big toe, inside of your heel, the mound of your pinky toe, the outside of your heel. This nice firm base. And then think about lifting your toes. That creates a little lift in your arches, and then gently keep that lift in your arches as you gently put your toes down. Good. Then I want you to spin your left foot out like so. So spin it out 90 degrees and bend your front knee. Look over your front knee and line it up over the root of your second toe. Sometimes your knee might want to cave in or maybe out. Line it right over the root of your second toe and then keep it there. So sometimes you could take a hand to hold it there. That doesn't work well because I have short arms, but I just know knee over root of second toe, and then I want you to square your pelvis back towards the front, which is hard to do because your pelvis is going to want to turn towards that bent leg, but square your pelvis here as best you can. Find your breath. Think skin to muscle, muscle to bone in those legs. Isometrically drawing your legs together and energetically pulling up into your hips, keeping that strength you just created in your legs. From the mound of your back leg, press in the mat, drop back to your inner heel, inner rotate your femur bone to broaden your butt flesh behind you on your, it's my right side, this back leg, okay? And then on your left front leg, you're gonna think rotating inner thigh to outer hip, externally rotating your femur bone on this leg, pulling back from pinky toe to the outside edge of your heel. Breathe, good. From your hips, press down the bones of your legs. From your hips, reach up, open your arms, gaze over your third finger, check where that knee is, and breathe. Here in Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. See if you can expand past your physical body into your energetic body. And see if you can do this somewhat of a demanding standing pose, and if you can soften into it and breathe. Take your hands to your hips, and then take your front left elbow to your left knee, like so, okay? And then stack your hands on top, so you're like this. And think about rolling your shoulders back. Like there's a glass wall behind you, you're rolling your shoulders back. And if it works for you, you can reach up, extend through the crown of your head. You can stay right where you're at. If your shoulder hurts, you could do this, okay? Or you can rotate your arm in the shoulder socket and extend it over your ear. That would be another option. Breathe. Get broad through those collarbones. See, I was kind of hunched over. Ooh, shoulders back. Actually, this feels better for me, so I'm gonna stay here. And breathe. Lower your top arm. Inhale yourself up. Straighten that front leg. Again, squaring your pelvis here. Keep a little softness behind your front left leg. Front knee, that is, front left knee. And breathe. From the core of your pelvis, push down into your legs. From the core of your pelvis, reach up. Open, and then hinge forward. Reach for your shin. Maybe you could reach the floor. Reach up, extend through your spine. Think about cobra, broad through your collarbone, stacking those shoulders. Now you're in triangle pose. Deep breaths here. Lower your top arm, bend your front knee, push yourself up, turn that left foot in, and go ahead and take a forward fold. Maybe you have a chair in front of you, or you can fold forward and reach the floor. Soften your breath. You might like to push into the floor and lengthen your spine, or maybe you'd rather fold your spine forward, whatever works for your body. Do that and breathe. Bring your hands to your hips. Good. And then this time spin your right foot out 90 degrees. Bend your front knee. Align your knee right over your second toe and then square your pelvis back towards me. This side's a little easier for me to do. The other side really likes to move towards my bent leg. All right. Find those feet. Skin to muscle, muscle to bone in your legs. Isometrically draw your legs together. Energetically from your feet, pull up into your hips. Gotta push the chair out of the way a little bit. Keeping that from the back leg, left foot for me, from the mound of your big toe. Press in the mat, draw back to your inner heel, up your inner thigh, inner rotate your femur bone in the hip socket to broaden your backside left pelvis behind you. Keeping that from your inner thigh, rotate to your outer hip. Make sure your knees still over the root of your second toe. Square your pelvis back here towards the front. Breathe from your hips. Push into your legs. From your hips, reach up. Get tall. Open your arms, gaze over your third finger, checking that knee that it's over the root of your second toe. Then expand out in all directions as you breathe. And Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Take your right hand down to your right knee. You can take your other hand on top and then roll those shoulders. So there's a glass wall behind you and both shoulders are on the glass wall. Reach up if that works for you. You could maybe go down towards the floor deeper, or you could keep your elbow to knee. My head's cut off, I apologize, but I can't move. Another option is to rotate your arm bone and then extend it over your ear. You're in Parsvotadasana, push through those feet. Get long through your spine and breathe. Really strong sensation here, gets into your quadratus lumborum, so does the triangle pose. So you might feel that really strong sensation in your back, the side of your back. Good, lower that top arm, straighten your front knee, go ahead and come back up. And again, a little softness in this front knee, just so you're not hyperextending, it's almost like a micro bend. Make sure your pelvis is square this way. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, open, and then hinge forward until you can reach your shin. Maybe you could reach the floor, maybe use a yoga block. Roll those shoulders back against a glass wall. Extend through the crown of your head. Reach up. Breathe, and here in triangle pose. Lower your top arm, bend your front knee, come on up. Heel toe your feet together. And take a moment just to breathe in mountain, to soften, breathe. And as you're ready, come on down to the floor. Sit however's comfortable for you. If you want to sit cross-legged, you want your legs in front of you. I feel like sitting on my legs feels good. And I just want you to take some time to soften and breathe. You can even move around a little, so maybe like some spinal circles if you feel like movement would be more serving, or if being still would be more serving. Just breathe we'll breathe here for about 30 seconds to a minute, softening out of those standing poses that take a little more energy. Okay, and now go ahead and sit on your bum and extend your legs out in front of you. Good. Bend your right knee, foot on the floor, hug it in towards your chest. Think about extending through your left heel, pushing your right foot into the floor, getting taller through your spine. Breathing. On your next inhale, take your left arm out. As you exhale, twist towards your bent leg. Take your right hand behind you, gaze over your right shoulder. Inhale yourself back, release your right leg, shake out your legs. As you're ready, bend your left knee in, hug it in towards your chest. Find your breath, root through your feet, get tall through your spine. On your next inhale, take your right arm out. As you exhale, twist towards your bent leg, wrapping your right arm around your leg, left hand comes to the floor, twisting from your right side belly to your left side belly. Finding the edge of your twist and breathing. Exhale yourself back to center. Find a comfortable seat for the close of class, however that looks for you. and find your breath. Finding a deep inhale and a full exhale. Do that again. Deep inhale, full exhale. If you'd like, you can bring your hands into prayer hands, Anjali Mudra at your heart. And I'll close today with a namaste. The light in me honors and recognizes the light in you. Thank you for practicing today, and I wish you a wonderful day.